Yesterday and I said, hey, going to have this box show up. It showed up yesterday afternoon. This thing is absolute busting at the seams. Look at this thing, just jam packed. This is straight from PCGS Banknote. You can see right there. Let's get this thing opened up. Let's see what's hiding inside. Okay. Paperwork here. Oofda. That's normally how they come. I want to point this out. On the inside of the label or the box, it says, "Please be advised, holders have a protective film layer removed for optimum results." I've actually had these holders returned because people said that they were damaged. I've also had people complain about the film. They didn't know that that was a thing or that was part of the holder. There's been a lot of discussion about PCGS potentially removing that film or charging extra for it. I don't know if they're ever going to go that direction, but personally, I don't care for it. If I have a note here, I'll kind of show you. It makes, you see how that's kind of a dull color right there? It's not super clear. I'm going to peel the film off these anyway, so it doesn't matter. But watch what happens when you peel this film off. There's the film. See, now it's crystal clear. This is the film they're talking about. Look. Film, no film. Film, no film. But it just peels right off, guys. It's super simple. When I first started doing these, I thought I would leave the film on, let the collector make the decision. Nope, not doing it. Too many headaches with it. But you can literally watch like the transformation. See how the film's not super clear? It's a little bit foggy, but it just pops right off. The film's there to just protect the slab for shipping, or if you're a collector, or whatever it may be. But I don't like it. Don't need it. I was saying I originally left the film on. What happened was notes shift around in your inventory, and believe it or not, like, the film comes off anyways, so it does, it really doesn't do any justice. So this is the rest of the T13s I sent in. This was a really fresh group that I got out of Louisiana from another dealer. If you don't know anything about Confederates, and I've talked about this before, but PCGS does a really good job of doing an amazing label for Confederates, obsoletes, and other script. Let me see if I get it to focus. Still looking at cameras. See there where it says T13, PF4, CR. So you have T13, which is the type of Confederate note. PF means Pierre Fricky, and that means number 4, which is a variety. CR, which is Criswell, and then they do a breakdown of kind of what the variety is on the note. This is eventually gonna catch on. I think people are just going to go absolutely crazy to collect all the different varieties of notes. So like right here you have a PF5, and sometimes it's pretty obvious, like the color difference of the note, the printing quality. The people that made these plates, they're not all made the same, guys. They're not all equal. The printing is very similar, but the subtle differences make collecting Confederates really fun. So nice grouping of T13s here. Everything so far has been, 30-35s. Just a nice problem-free group. couple 25s. Nice bold blacks on some of these. T13s don't normally come with super white paper and super bold black inks, so this is just a really nice grouping of notes. This one they notated minor edge tear. Meh, whatever. Looking at it, I don't see anything right away that suspects, you know, but if they seen it, they label it. VF20. AU53, it's got some minor paper toning, minor ink erosion. That's just gonna happen with these guys, you know. There's an XF40. Nice clean original. VF35. T13 is a good note, just not a note that comes up in quantity ever. So only one note with problems, two notes with problems. Here's another AU. It's going to have a little bit of minor ink erosion. You can see where the ink actually ate through the paper here. These were all hand signed. A question I get often is, why does the ink erode the paper? Well, a lot of the times these inks contained some sort of metallic, you know, entities like steel or you know, something that would oxidize, and what happens is over time they just suck up moisture and they oxidize, and eventually it just goes through the paper. Eventually, maybe not in our lifetime, maybe not in the next lifetime, but that signature will eventually disappear. That's why we get stuff graded, so it can't keep sucking up moisture. One thing I did notice is serial number 985, serial number 989, which would be a radar. They notated minor ink erosion. It is what it is. A collector is not going to not buy that note because of the ink erosion. They almost all have them. It's just how they come. Here's a nice, a really nice 30 with bright white paper. Here's another one. Bright white paper. It's not real fun for you guys if I'm doing the same note all the time. I buy big groups of notes. I like to make programs and create new markets and try to get the notes out there for the collectors to enjoy. That's a really nice 30. Making the notes available and getting them into plastic for the collectors is a big thing that I do. I really like to support the industry. I'm a big fan of the grading services. I think without preservation, we're eventually going to lose all these notes. They were never intended to last 150 years. I don't know if that makes sense, but T13 just, it has a lot of eye appeal. You have some gentleman loading a wagon on the front. You have a sailor on the left. You have the C for the, you know, the C note. All right, moving into a T41. Choice AU58, no comments, with, you can see it right there, the SA. This should be watermarked paper. It's a lot easier to see if you backlight the note, but that's a really nice note. The other thing I'd like to point out about this T41 is it's full frame. Full framing on a T41 is tough. Here's another fully framed VF25 T41. Also watermark paper. Here's an AU50. It has a little bit of excess ink on it. That's from printing. I'm going to assume... Nope, they never mentioned it. Also from this, these cancellation stamps. So here's another AU58. You can see here, this has, see if I can point it out. This has what's called script watermark. So you have C, S, A. T41 and 40, another great note. That has block watermark. AU53. Something unique about this note is it's very deep in color as compared to other T41s I've seen. AU55, small gutter fold on the right side here, very common. But I was talking about full framing. Look how narrow the cut is at the bottom margin. That's your typical T41 in my opinion. Here's another fully framed T41, AU50 with script watermark. Here's some advertising note script. This is a customer of mine. This is from the Miller Brothers 101 Ranch in Oklahoma. It's a kind of a controversial note because there's two different types, and people think that they were counterfeited, but they have the exact same paper but different plates, and it touched controversial in the advertising note collecting scene. But they have lots of eye appeal for advertising script, especially being, you know, early 1900s Oklahoma. It was really the Wild West out there. They're all going to be paper toned. The edges are terribly saturated with paper toning, but they have a good look. Here's a fun one, 50 bucks. See, and this is kind of more of what they should look like naturally, but it still has just paper toned edges. Same customer graded some bond coupons that he had. These little Confederate $40 bond coupon. Now, some customers would be concerned if I was showing their notes. Other customers won't. This is just another dealer. His notes are all for sale. He's a good friend of mine, so if I told him what I was doing, he would be like, "Oh, that's cool, man, great." Other bond coupons. He also kind of collects this stuff because he loves like the train vignettes, and he's just partial to early American paper. And this is a Dallas, Texas interest coupon from the Texas Electric Railway. Kind of neat. I collect this stuff personally from my own state. The state that I collect is pretty tough for paper, so it's, when I see it, I snag it. You know, this one's from the United States Lead Corporation from 1904, so I can understand and appreciate why people collect these. They're very neat. It's definitely something that should be preserved. Here he made a 65 on a Choctaw, Oklahoma and Gulf Railroad Company, railroad bonds, backed by gold. This one is actually backed by gold. Printed. A lot of these are printed by the American Banknote Company as well. So that's the other allure. A lot of people collect American Banknote Company products. They printed all sorts of different stuff. Foreign paper, U.S. paper, bonds, coupons, stocks. This one has a nice look with the girl on it. It's from Oaxaca, New Jersey, from the local railroad company there. And you can see the centering on these aren't that great because you can see the design elements from the next bond coupon. So they were never really intended to be held, so to speak. Here's a T40 and VF30 minor edge split. I'll take it. I don't quite see the edge split, but there's a couple down here, but not gonna hurt to know. Here's a North Carolina colonial with the North American bear down here. Fine 12 details. This note is backed by some other type of material, and it says right on there, severed, reattached, back. It's got a gang of net problems, so it is what it is. We're just lucky that this note survived, and it's here to enjoy some more. This note was actually body bagged by PMG, and it was in a PCGS currency holder, and they refused. They said they weren't going to certify it, but here it is. PCGS currency, I believe it was a fine 15 details. The only thing that's different was I put a newer piece of acidic free tape on the back. The old yellow piece of tape had fell off, so I made sure to use an acid free tape on the back. So archival tape is actually, it's making it so some of these notes exist and we can still enjoy them. Government of Texas notes are super popular. This note was most likely severed during a cancellation, and that's why there was two pieces. Now back in the the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whenever it may be, and these notes were discovered, they would put some of their tape on here, and if you look, you can still see residue from the old tape at the top and the bottom. All I did, the tape was falling off. I have some right here just in case, but it's called document repair tape. This is acid free. It's good for making small repairs. It's pH neutral, so this will never yellow. It will never discolor the paper. It's better to use than your regular Scotch tape that you would put your Christmas package together with. So the note looks 100% better than having that old yellow hunk of junk on the back. Someone's going to buy this note. If you look closely, you can see where the design elements don't 100% line up, but that's just how it is. Nothing you can do about it. So like I said, this note was canceled and severed and probably thrown in a shoebox at the bank, but we're lucky that it survived. It's a great note. It's got a buffalo motif on it. Has a Native American shooting a buffalo. You can find this vignette on lots of other notes other than Texas, or very similar vignettes. So that's all I got today for this one. Like, subscribe, shoot me a message, shoot me an email, shoot me comments, whatever you want to do. But thanks for watching. You'll start to see some of these notes trickle out into the marketplace. Everything is for sale in this pile, and like, subscribe once again.